Hey guys, welcome back. We're finally at the end of our Advent of Genesis booster set one booster reveal or review. We made it to neutral craft. Is it called neutral craft or is it just neutral in this? I assume it's neutral.
Neutral.
Yeah, I think
Or is
it's
it
just
just
neutral. I don't think
oh,
it has
okay.
a craft feel to it.
All right, whatever. I'm changing that now. It's neutral craft, guys. All right.
Beautiful.
So I'm once again joined with Dean and Ellis. You guys can say hi.
Hello?
Yo,
Um, Once again, we are thankful that the Shadowverse Evolve community, Discord community, actually put together this document we're using a long time ago for when the first set came out. It has all the translations, everything with pictures included. So it made it very easy for us to have this all together. And so we like to thank them because we're using their document to make this video. But yeah, other than that, you guys need to like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. So we feel more invigorated to keep making content because we're trying to push as much as we can content out there for the community, for the English speaking community. Because we're really excited about Shadowverse Evolve, and I know the people who are watching this video early are just as excited as well. So get us out there and stuff so we can keep making this content. And if you guys have, since this is the last video we're doing, if you have any suggested content you guys would like us to try to do in the future, just leave suggestions below if you want, or just get a hold of us through Discord or something, and then
Mhm.
we'll see what we can do. Because after this, I know we're gonna try to do some other content around Shadowverse because I really want a lot of the focus to be on the English side of the game. And one thing we're hoping is that the booster packs are released somewhat frequently enough that we catch up to the Japanese format, so we're both like equal there. But besides that, we'll get right into it here. So the first card here is Gabriel. It is a 6 cost. Or I guess we should mention for people who never played Shadowverse before. Neutral are cards that can go in any deck. Before
Yep.
all the other crafts were, if you're gonna play like Abyss Craft, for example, you can only have Abyss Craft cards and neutral craft cards, or
Yep.
neutral cards in the deck to build. You can't mix it with like Abyss Craft with like Rune Craft or something like that.
Right. You are class locked.
Yep. So once again, this is Gabriel. It's a 6 cost 4/3 follower angel trait. It has ward, fanfare, choose one of your followers. It gets +4/+3 and gains direct attack. Thoughts?
The
I
UR for this card is beautiful.
It is.
Is
It
this
is.
even played? This personally, I think this card seems pretty bad.
You're correct.
Yeah. It could theoretically be a turn something into, like, if you're playing this with sword, it could turn your quick blader into a 5/4 attacking. But it's not great.
Yeah, it's just like a thing that like, you can play it as like a one of to be
Right.
really cheeky and just
Yes.
randomly be like, aha, my card on the board randomly got big.
Yes.
But other than that, yeah, I mean it's not fantastic. That's why I mean, so the neutral cards are usually balanced around being a little bit worse anyway.
Typically, yes.
So like that is like something to think about, but yeah, this one's not a banger.
Right.
Yeah, I think one of the big things keeping it back from being like anywhat good is that at 6 cost, it's not very hard to combo with any cards with like any of the good cards with Storm, right? And
There's
like
one
this,
mana cards with Storm.
Yeah.
I guess yeah.
Quick blader.
Still 6 is a lot. I don't know. Yeah,
It
but like you
is.
Yeah.
said, the card is
Yeah.
pretty
If this
mediocre.
card costs like 4 or 5, it'd probably be fine. If it costs 4, it'd probably be busted. If 5 costs, it'd be better.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next card here. Ooh.
Oh baby, I get the most expensive a card in the set.
Yeah.
On release in Japanese, this card was like $50+. Sold out, by the way, at the time. This is Lucifer 7 drop 6/7, also the poster boy of the set. He has ward, and at the start of your end phase, you add 4 to your leader's health, and you can evolve him for 0.
Yeah.
And when you evolve him, he becomes an 8/7 with Bane that says at the start of your end phase, deal 4 damage to the enemy leaders.
Yeah, this card is a staple one of in like every deck, isn't it?
Well, the thing is in set 1, if you've noticed when we've gone over these,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of high cost cards.
Right.
And suddenly you have this staple 7 drop with this
Right. Yeah.
big health pool, heals you, and is also it can be aggressive and it can be defensive.
Right. Yeah, it's a very, very
And
fit the situation I need it for card.
it's a fit the situation on like a curve that your decks don't have support for yet.
Yes.
Like, right? So This is just a staple card. You
Yep.
throw in any deck that tries to have a longer game.
100%.
And
This card in Haven? Oh god.
yeah, this card
please.
in Haven, you play it in Dragon, you play it in like some swordless play it if they went for like the
Yep.
control variant.
Dragon, you can drop this thing on like turn 5.
Yeah, so this is a fantastic card at the beginning of the
Yes.
game, and as decks flesh out, it gets less good over time. That's
Right.
kind of like the way it is. But like in
Right.
set 1, fantastic. But I'm gonna be honest, I saw like a guy who commented on one of our things, like how can I like not spend too much money? Well, probably just buy your crafts legendaries, like if you're choosing a craft. I think that
Yeah.
so this is like something I wanted to point out just because of that comment I saw today. I don't know if you saw this one, Kit.
Oh, I did not. I haven't looked on the account yet.
Yeah, I responded to it, but the it was a guy being like, "Man, I don't want to spend that much." Like, or like, right, like, how is the budget decks? It's like, well, I think that not buying a Lucifer is probably how you avoid having an expensive deck.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because while this card is fantastic, like maybe if you just choose a deck where you don't have to buy this, like your price point is going to go down significantly because this is what's going to drive up your average deck cost.
Yep.
Because it's neutral, you're going to need it for like a lot of different classes, and that's why there's going to be less supply of this card.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm going to be like, while I think this is a card you're going to want if you want to, like if you're trying to play a control deck in set 1, this is not a card that aged very well in like the Japanese meta. So like this is a card that it's going to slowly fall in price and see less and less play as time goes on.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic at the moment. It's fitting the role that it needs to, and it's a very powerful card, especially right now with the smaller card pool.
Yep. I do want to point out to be fair, there could be a difference in an American meta and a Japanese meta just based on play styles of players. That is the case for some other games, but it may or may not be the case for this one.
Well, I think that just in general, like as classes get more
Right.
cards, like that 7 drop becomes more competitive. While right now, it's like you don't have a lot, and so this card coming in at all is like usually the one.
Right, but even early on, though, I don't think this card is a bad investment. Like if you pick up 3 of these, you probably hold on to them for an infinite amount of time.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I agree with that. Nothing else to add. It's exactly what they said. Next card here, Ellis gets to review a card that I like a lot.
This card is great. This is Flaming Glass. This is a 10-drop 7/7 with Storm. On strike, deal 3 damage to all enemy followers. If both Harnessed Flame and Harnessed Glass are in your graveyard, deal 7 damage instead. And we'll see those 2 cards here later on. This has a deck that ramps into this. I don't know if I would say it's good, but it's funny.
I'm gonna be honest. Kit was sending me some decks. I saw some people play this in D Shift.
Yeah.
Really? Ooh, I can see that.
It's this card is cool. I like this card a lot. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the card too.
Me too. I love the art. I love the effect, and like the once we see the other pieces to this card, you'll see how you can like kind of cheat it out and do cool things with it. But this is definitely a card I'm like, even if this deck sucks, I'm gonna make the deck in English and play it at least at locals or something. Because
this is a great bring to your locals deck.
I think it's actually a pretty good kit.
I mean, but I'm just saying, like, if it turns out to be like, if I think it's bad, I'm still gonna play this because I really like this card.
Right.
But yeah, all right. I think we're kind of all in agreement. It's probably pretty good. So,
yeah.
All right. Next card here is Erd. It is a neutral follower. That's a 4-cost 2/2 divinity trait. Evolve for 1, and then fanfare, choose an enemy far, put it into the EX area. Oh wait, yeah. Wait, you just gotta remove it's like bouncing a card back to your opponent's hand. Is that how many?
You might want to read that evolve side too.
All right, and then the evolved is choose a card in an EX area, banish it.
So not only does this put something from play into the EX area, even if there's no target for it to put into the EX area, if they have cards in their EX area, it could still hit cards on evolve. This card is really funny.
This card is pretty expensive in Japanese.
Is it?
I mean, it's like $5+, I think.
Oh, okay.
Which is pretty expensive for a random gold.
Right.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, how do you feel, Kit? How do you feel? I know how I feel.
Yeah. When I read cards like this, they're always like in my head. They're very like tempo. They're like made to slow down the tempo. I don't know how good like the banish part of it is. I guess it just really depends on what cards we're trying to remove, right? Or like if there's like hard cards to remove. I guess it removes. Wait, is it followers or it's just any card?
Any
Card
card.
in EX
Yeah,
area.
so this is
Yeah.
probably one of the few ways you're gonna like if your craft doesn't have ways to interact with amulets, you probably have to play this card. Is what I'm assuming
Ooh.
right now, right?
The amulet would have to be in the X area.
Right.
No,
Yeah,
but I
it's
mean
just following
I'm talking about the first part. Can you put an amulet into their EX area, right?
No, it said follower.
Oh, it's as
on the
far.
first.
Okay,
When you
okay.
go back.
That's what I meant. Okay, yeah. If it can only target follower, the card is probably pretty decent. But like if it could target amulets too, I think this card is like almost like depending on the meta, you would include this no matter what.
So, in set 1, this is just generic removal. Like if your class doesn't have like banish or something, right? This is just generic. Get rid of a card that has last words. It's annoying.
Right. It's
Um,
very anti-shadow or
it's
anti-abysscraft.
it's like able to like like it's like targeted removal on a body that also like denies last words. So that's nice. And what you how far ahead should I talk? Because like, what if I'm talking about current Japanese meta? Should I talk about that at all?
Yeah, I think go ahead. It just gives people like a little glimpse of what to expect in the future.
So I don't know if this is played in current Japanese meta, but I know there's a deck in the Japanese meta right now that is Humpty Dumpty Explosion, and it's like this card that says like what you do is Explosion says you discard all cards in your hand and like you like deal damage to the enemy leader equal to the number of copies of it and like this Humpty Dumpty card in your grave. And the way that they play the game is they put a bunch of cards in their EX area. Like they fill up their EX area with like top check 4, add 2 to your EX area, and they do stuff like that. And then they try to use their EX area as their hand. And that's kind of like playing with an open hand. And against this, that it's just insane. It's like actually insane into that matchup because they need to play those cards from their EX area to get additional effects. But suddenly you're banishing them, and it's like it completely kills the kill potential of the deck, or like it severely hurts the kill potential of the deck, and it's also like extreme hand disruption for that deck. So while this is a good card in set 1, and it's always going to be a decent card into random decks, there is a legitimate place in the meta for this when set 3 drops. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
Nice. Yeah. You're kind of described like how I think the card is. It seems pretty good. It's like seems decent overall. Like if someone was playing this, I wouldn't be surprised. But it seems like when set 3 drops, this becomes like a almost must include essentially if people are playing the Humpty
It's
Dumpty deck.
like a meta call. It's
Yeah,
like a meta call.
yeah. That's a good way to put it. All right, next card here.
This one would be me. This is Wind God. People might remember this one. 4 mana, 1/5. I like this card when I invoke. At the start of your end phase, all of your followers get +1/+0, and fanfare, choose one of your followers that gets +1/+0.
Oh yeah, this
card
did
is
have
not-
fanfare
Yeah,
in the
this
digital.
card is
Or
not as
fanfare,
good as it was in
invoke.
digital.
No. It got a retrain in digital that like invoked itself.
Yeah.
Oh.
What was the condition again in digital? I
Rally 10.
yeah, that's right. That's right. It would come out. I remember because I played that sword deck. All right.
Um,
Card
man,
seems
I don't
pretty
know.
eh.
Yeah, it's pretty mid. I do think these cards are funny though because it's like while they're mid, um, these are like the local cards that like you put down on the board and your opponent goes, "Oh no, I don't have removal," and then you win.
Oh man. I mean, yeah, it does have a pretty big butt for its health pool, so it's a little bit tricky to remove, I guess, but yeah. It's very much like I guess you can blindside people with it like you said, right at locals. So,
Yeah.
all right, next card here.
Ooh, this is Gilgamesh. It is a 6/6 for 7 with Storm. That's all it is. Card's good. It is a Storm 6/6 that can go on any deck. That's it.
Good is a strong word.
Is it?
Not bad. Not bad is it's like a scale of mid.
This is
Oh,
like the
it's
type. This is like the type of card I feel like where like you're playing a budget build. You're missing one of the storm pieces that your deck would normally have, so you play this
Mhm.
instead, right? It might be
Yeah.
like slightly worse than like the 6 cost storm you're going to be playing, but like because you don't have access to the card, this card easily replaces that card. Yeah. All right. Wait a minute, guys. Do you hear that?
Ding dong, ding dong.
Oh no.
Oh, it's
I hear
it's
something
our
outside.
it's our favorite girl, Bellringer Angel.
Oh,
Oh,
no, I don't
get
get to
it.
review this.
All right, Bellringer Angel is it's a 1 cost 0/2 evolve for 2. It has ward and last words. Draw a card. The evolution becomes a 0/2 still. Ward, of course, and then choose an enemy follower on evolve. Deal 2 damage to it. Last word. Draw a card. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you care to like future proof your playsets and for like decks in the future, you want like 6 playsets of this card, right?
It's insane.
This is
Yeah.
my absolute favorite card.
Well,
this-
she's like the face of like she's honestly more of a face of the game than Lucifer.
She is.
Uh,
This card is a staple 3 of in every deck I ever build.
Yeah.
it's
Go ahead.
it's so good. It's like you eat an attack, you draw a card. Oh my god.
I went out of the way to buy extra copies of this in Japanese, so Dean had extra copies to play with.
Yeah, like just so people understand, if you open this card, you want worst case scenario always keep a playset because in the future, right now this card is like $15 for one right now in Japanese. So
Is it?
it's like 1,600 1,800 yen. So it's probably like around like $12 to $15, right?
yeah. It's like kind of insane. And I mean
I got mine for like 4.
yeah, well, it's like it's that thing where like it's every deck wants the 3 of it, right? It's just like such a good 1-drop. It hurts aggro, it helps your consistency. It costs I mean like it's a 1 mana cantrip that also blanks an attack. It's just so good.
Yeah, I mean, what's there to say? It's Spellringer Angel.
Well, in the problem is in digital it was a 2 mana card.
Oh, I didn't even
Yeah.
remember that. This is all right.
Yeah. So this becoming 1 mana, it's just this is an insight on a body, is what this is. It's just so much better being a 1 mana card.
And this card in Havencraft it has 2 attack.
It does have 2 attack. That's what I saw. 3 of these on the board.
Oh man. All right. But yeah, really good card. If you open these, you want to hoard them essentially if you're planning to stay in the game long term.
This card has shadow foils, doesn't it?
Yeah, it also comes Shatterfoil. So that's
no.
once people get their hands on the cases, oh my
People,
god.
you're going to be able to rob me of money. I'm sorry.
It's such a good nice
To
looking card.
myself.
All right. Next card here. Wait, was this in the booster? Or no, I mean the starter deck?
No, I don't think so. This
No.
was I saw Rune play this card a couple times. It was Altered Fate 2 mana spell. All players return all cards in their hands to their deck, shuffle and draw the same number of cards they return, then you draw a card.
Yeah, so in digital, this card was discard your hand and draw that many cards +1. That was relevant in.
You didn't draw that many +1, you just drew that many cards.
Was it just draw that many cards?
It was a -1.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
it was a -1 in digital? Dang.
Yeah, it was relevant with a specific card in digital.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Huh?
It was relevant with like it's been relevant on and off in digital depending on
Right.
the deck. I got like OTK'd with this the other day in Unlimited.
But that's funny. But the shuffle back, the fact that it also affects your opponent, and you can potentially draw into cards you mulligan later in the game. The card is not awful, but right now it probably won't see very much play.
I just felt awkward playing it because it's like it's okay. So it's very rare you look at a hand, especially if you're playing like because this is a rude card. Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you don't discard means that it's no longer like a dragon card as well. Because in digital, it was a dragon, sword, and rune card.
Wasn't it
But-
also Shadow? Or whatever it's
Oh
called?
yeah. There was like
because-
there were some like other decks. Yeah, some fringe decks that played it as well. But like all of those were because it discarded cards, right? It was never
Right.
like for this. But I always felt awkward looking at my hand and thinking like right if you have like 2 dead cards in your hand, but like you got a 7-card hand, and you look at this card,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, I still have 5 live cards in my hand. Do I really want to like
Yeah.
mulligan into an unknown 7?
Yeah. And the token generators in this game don't add cards to your hand, because one of the things it paired with were cards that made tokens. So those tokens going into your hand, like, so you make a bunch of fairies into hand and then discard them to replace them with playable cards.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just not a thing anymore.
So this is a card that I don't know how to feel about it. It's like technically disruption. It's not bad.
It's like disruption here. So like I think you hit the key points of that. The fact that we're not discarding the cards and we're reshuffling them, we lose the potential, like even in the physical card game, to get like necrocharge and all that stuff and have like discard shenanigans. The big thing for me on this card is that like at worst you get a slightly better hand. Or sorry, at best you get a slightly better hand. At worst you fix your opponent's hand.
Yeah,
Like,
that too.
So if you the only way I would ever play this card is because I need it for some kind of combo potential type of thing, or if I get information from my opponent. So like if I was playing Abysscraft and I looked at their hand and I was like, shit, their hand is really good. I'm gonna Altered Fate right now, and hopefully this makes their hand worse. That's like the only way I see this card being very good.
I could see that in like a hand.
Also, like the
deck.
Executioner.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that in like a
Abyss.
control deck. It's just like it feels so awkward because like the idea of like having to play a mulligan card for 2 mana that like does literally nothing else.
Yeah.
Yes. If you have a hand that you need to mulligan, maybe you just need to like build a different deck. That's like my thought. If you have a 5-card hand of unplayable cards, there's probably a deck building problem going on.
Well, are there any crafts or classes in set 1 that don't have the ability to go onto their deck?
Even if you don't have the ability to go into your deck, you just hopefully build a deck that doesn't need to play a 2-mana draw random.
Well, the reason I asked, like some decks, like sometimes you have to mulligan away stuff that you really don't want to lose in the late game. If you don't have any way to go into your deck or to shuffle your deck to have potential access to those again, this card could help you.
Also, the fact that you shuffle before you draw. What happens when you just draw the same hand?
Draw the same hand easy.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
I don't know. This card
shouldn't happen, but it could.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, for me, this card is either going to be busted because there's a combo with it, or this card is like almost never going to be in any deck. That's how I see it right now. Yeah,
I agree.
All right, next card, which I think is in. Is this in?
No, it's not.
It's not.
This card is strong. Alice, this is yours.
Okay, so this is the card in digital that the other card paired with early on. So this is Path to Purgatory. It is a 3-drop at the start of your end phase. If your leader's health is 6 or less, act this card and put it into your graveyard. Deal 6 damage to all enemy followers. Fanfare, draw 3 cards, deal 3 damage to your leader. So in digital, this was if you had 30 or more cards in the graveyard, deal 6.
At the end of turn to everything.
At the end of turn to everything. It is not that anymore. So, yeah, it does 6 one time, only to enemy followers, not to enemy leaders. But the draw 3, take 3 for 3 is pretty good.
I'm going to assume right now you're playing this in all these aggro decks because it's gas, right?
I disagreed with any aggro list that didn't play this because I just didn't understand how they were supposed to keep up past turn 3.
Right.
Yeah, it's so... Even like your control decks at times are just like draw 3. That's such a big number of cards to enter your hand for such a low cost.
Is there a hand limit in
Shadowverse?
7? Okay,
yeah.
so I thought.
So I think the really big thing about this card, like I said, or like I totally agree with Dean. Like if you're playing an aggro list, you're not playing some number of copies of this card. I think you're just wrong. The big thing here is that your opponent like has to consider this. Like if I put them down to like 9 life, there's a chance that this happens. They clear my board and I just lose the game immediately.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's so strong. It's like the board clear is a big thing there with like the ability to like wipe board and like force your opponent into a weird situation. And then dude, 3 cards. That's what's insane.
Yeah. This card does get worse the later you see it. So like if you see this and your opponent's got like a 9/9 in play, staring you down, this card's not good.
Okay, well I think if your opponent has, I don't know what deck's dropping a 9/9 on you, but
Okay, but if your opponent has something really big, this card gets worse. This card is really funny in the Haven control list because you're just going to heal back the 3 damage.
Well, I think in a deck that's trying to heal a lot, this is like less good because it eats up a board slot forever.
Right. That's true.
But I think that the fact that you can just like any deck that like has a lack of natural draw
Yep.
or like has like an
Yep.
abundance of like low costed cards.
Like Crimson Shadow or like
Yeah.
Crimson Abysscraft.
Yeah, I mean, I think this card is just good in general for a long time. Like this is just going to be a card that
You see.
yeah, you can just go, wow, I'm lacking card draw. Throw this in. Boom, done. My deck is instantly has more hand every game.
You're going to be able to sit down at the table at a regional and look around at the table that you're playing at and probably see 3 to 5 copies of this card from your seat.
Yeah, I think this is the type of card though where like you definitely don't run this at 3 of. I feel at least feel that number is wrong. I think at most you see this as 2. But yeah, I think the card's really good, honestly. So,
yes.
All right. Next card.
Is this me?
I have no idea. So go ahead.
Yeah, no,
you just did.
Kicks.
This
I just
kid.
did
Okay, Lizard Man, direct attack.
Fantastic card.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't this guy one of the TDs?
I don't know.
I think we broke our own rules.
No, I don't know. This guy's turbo ass.
he does exactly what he says he does. If you read the card. All right, next card.
He has a 3-4, or he's a 4-3 for 3. He's got an okay stat line, right? He's
okay.
not a 3-3.
I mean, you're right, Ellis. He is a follower. Next card.
Did you want to do this one, kid, or did you count that Lizard Man?
Okay, I'll do this one. Goblin Mount Demon. This guy looks hella angry. Evolve for 0. Has ward. Fanfare. Deal 2 damage to all of your other followers. Oh my god. Oh, because he's overstated.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna already say without even like looking at the evolve form, like this seems pretty bad because I feel like everyone's gonna be playing aggro early on. You're just killing your own cards. But here we are at 7. It becomes a 7/7 instead.
Hey. Oh, yeah, I'll let you.
Yeah, card seems okay. Honestly, at best, I think this card's okay because like I feel like you're just gonna end up killing a lot of your own aggro cards. It's like it seems it's too slow. I guess maybe it being ward with 7 toughness or health or whatever might be, maybe it's relevant. I don't know.
Okay.
Card seems kind of whatever to me.
So this card is very mid, but I want to point out the big brain plays. You play down your Bellringer Angel. You play down this guy, play your Bellringer Angel, draw a card, then flip him. He's a 7/7 with ward. But that's about it. He's got some big brain like last word plays, but the card is not that great.
Yeah, I don't even.
It is a 7/7 with ward though.
For 5.
For 5, which is respectable.
Man, this eats up a slot in your evolve deck. So I mean, if you have a lot of slots, competing slots, this probably just never sees play.
Yeah.
So here's some things. Okay, so I saw people play this in set 1.
Yeah.
For a couple reasons. 1, 7/7 clears Lucifer 6/7.
Yes, it does.
All right.
It also clears 8/7. Isn't he an 8/7 on his evolve side?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, it clears Lucifer on both sides, and it's also just like a big body into like the aggro matchup, right? So it's like the idea is you can clear like an aggro card, but while also leaving like a body up that's like pretty big,
right? Like you see this guy, you have to respect him.
Like, I'm not saying this card's good,
right?
But I'm saying like in our current like limited card pool of structure decks plus booster 1,
right?
He's the 7/7's kind of respectable.
Right. Yes.
It's not insanely good,
right.
But like you can find some room in some decks that aren't trying to kill your opponent on turn 3.
Right. In the control deck, he's good.
He's like okay. It's like a card that like, when you're like, man, they didn't print enough cards in booster 1, so I got only 35 cards in my deck. We need 5 more, and Goblin Mount Demon might be one of them.
All right, I can totally see that. It's definitely a card. I don't think there's any longevity to it, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, next card. This card, these next 2 cards are the ones that go with that our big boy earlier. I guess big girl, or is it a boy? I don't even know. Either way,
it's a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harnessed Flame. This is a 3-drop 3/2 that has activate for 1 play point. Put this card and a Harnessed Glass into your graveyard. Search your deck for a Flaming Glass and put it into the field. I cannot believe how much better they made this card than digital. If you didn't know, in digital, this card and the other card had to be on your board at the beginning of the turn. so
Yep.
so it was literally impossible. But now it's just an activated effect.
Right.
Yep. So
Which makes this a lot more obnoxious because it means you can just drop one of these on 3 and your opponent has to kill it immediately.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh wow, on turn 4, yeah, I'm gonna drop the other one.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
And then activate.
pay 1 and then you're dead.
Yep.
yeah, most of the
This
time
deck-
it's like a turn. You can turn 7 get Flaming Glass. Otherwise, like yeah, like Dean said, if they don't answer this, you're probably losing the game immediately.
And they have to.
Yeah, it's like you drop down the card and they're like, oh my god,
Yeah,
like I have to like.
This will catch some people off guard, probably. Also, if your opponent bricks, you get to go to town.
Yep.
We should show the Harnessed Glass
Yeah,
next.
There you go.
Harness Glass. This is a 2/3 for 3, so it's got the reverse stats, same cost. It has Fanfare. Draw a card. Put a card from your hand on bottom of your deck. So if you get stuck with that Flaming Glass in your hand, you put it in the deck with this card and replace it.
Yeah, and it's good hand filter in general, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
card's also good. Do they see play? Do either one of these two cards see play outside of the Flaming Glass deck?
no
I
idea.
don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
every list I looked at, because I was looking at lists with Flaming Glass, they obviously play these cards, but
Well, why would you not play both?
Right.
It's just like the thing you drop down the 3-drop and then you go, I have the second 3-drop, and then they die.
Well, here's the question: Could you play one of these two cards just to make your opponent waste removal on, just to like fake out your opponent?
That sounds really bad then.
I don't disagree with you, but if you have to play one of the two, then you play this one. And I think you could probably play this one for decent hand filter to fake out opponents. I think it's a strategy that will mess with some people.
I don't like the idea of playing a card that if your opponent is like really bad, like you just don't do anything with it.
I agree with that. Yes. But be on the lookout. Like,
Yeah, I do like this package a lot,
Right.
though.
yep, I really like this package. I can't wait to mess around with the deck once it's out.
Yep.
Next card, Demonic Strike. I think we reviewed this, correct?
TD.
TD or starter deck. So go.
So we're getting a lot of like starter deck cards
Yep.
actually in a row, probably.
I believe this is a starter deck card as well.
No,
Huh?
this
Okay.
is not a starter deck card.
Card's good.
Execution quick. Choose an enemy card in the field, destroy it. You're playing multiple copies of this if you're dealing with amulets.
You forgot it's 4 cost.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
4 cost too. But I mean, it's probably one of the only few ways you interact with amulets on your opponent's board, right?
Right.
It is,
yeah.
and it's because of that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a staple 2 to 3 of in every single deck.
No,
No?
what in set
Is it-
1?
Oh, I might be thinking set 2.
In set 2, this sees more play because amulets get some. They get some nice extra support.
Right.
In set 1, this is like, man, I'm afraid of that Haven deck that's still gonna get to put the amulet back on the board anyway.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, the benefit for this card is the fact that it can hit amulets.
So this is a card you pick up in set 1. You hold them for set 2.
All right. All right, boys. We have Trail. Wait, is it my turn?
No, you just
do
have one
execution.
Steve's
Yeah.
turn.
Okay, go ahead.
Trail of Light. Pick these up. This card's going to get expensive.
Yeah, it is.
This is a 2-mana spell that says when this card is discarded from your hand, draw a card. And also it has when you play it, draw a card. Are you ready for a busted interaction in this game?
All right, let's hear it because I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, not only is there things like the Penguin Wizard that's like
Yeah,
discard,
there
tap,
is.
discard a spell, and there's all the discarding spells. This procs off of discarding for hand size.
Yeah, it does.
And when you discard for hand size, you're like there's literally like a phase where you continuously get checked for hand size. So the idea is if you have over 7 cards in hand, you have to discard down to 7. But if you discard this, you then draw a card. You now have to discard again. That is
Yeah.
so broken in spell boost.
Yes, it is.
Where you're just
So
like,
you have to check
a
grade
card,
for
a
spells.
card hand, discard Trail of Light, draw. I have to discard another spell, discard Trail of Light,
draw.
draw up. Yep, a spell boosting like 4 times for free.
Oh. This card is also really good with anything that's self-discard.
Yeah, any of the discard strategies, like
Yeah.
in set 2, we get the dragon deck that's
Yep.
gonna be like discarding cards, but we also get the Shenlong in this.
Yep.
Pretty good. Draw 2, ditch 1. Now it's
Yeah.
draw 2, ditch 1, draw another one.
Yeah. So it's draw 3, ditch 1.
Yeah, it's
It's better than Graceful Charity and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, it's any card that like discards. This card goes well, like really well with, and any deck, any spell boost deck wants to see this.
It also it's really funny if you're sitting across from your opponent and they evolve their Executioner and you reveal 3 of these and that's all you have.
Okay, well, Ellis plans to have a completely dead hand.
You're right.
For the memes.
Listen, I am a man of the memes. I love them, but no, you're right.
All right. Yep. So at the end of the day, worst case scenario, hold a playset of this forever. Best case scenario, you probably want a couple playsets of this moving forward into the future sets, just to be future proof yourself. All right, next card. We reviewed this in a starter deck. We all know the answer. Insane. Busted. 10 out of 10. There's the evolved form. Fighter was. Yep, and Goliath. I don't think this is in a starter deck.
Yeah, starter deck.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Starter deck. Starter deck as well, I believe, right? I think I remember seeing this in a starter deck. Yep. Starter deck. Starter deck. All right. So if you guys want to see more neutral talk, you have to go review all the starter deck videos. So go ahead and do that right now.
If you want to see me dressed as a ninja at an event, go watch both of our sword videos and find out why.
Yep. All right. And then since we're at the end here, well, I'm just going to go ahead and go through. These are the leader cards that you can get in the boosters, right? And also the trial deck, or starter deck.
And some of them come in the starter, but like the ones in the booster, are kind of insane. The ones in the booster have like this beautiful foiling on them.
Yes, they do.
And then you can like scan it with your phone to get a leader and like extra voice lines on the app.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I saw this at regionals.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so just like the digital card game, you can BM your opponent. Be like, I mean, or whatever. Anyway, so here are the leaders. So the first one obviously is Arissa. Is it the same art as the one in the trial deck or starter deck?
Yes. Yeah, they're the same art as the ones in the trial deck.
But they come foil. Yeah. All right, and then this is the chase one, right, in the booster.
The Arya dancing fairy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next we have Erica, and then this is the chase one for sword.
Ooh, this one I pulled.
That one looks really good.
Yep, I like it a lot. Next is Isabel, and then we got our old man here.
Okay, I'm going to be buying him day one. Okay, you better believe I'm not going to be coming up to regionals with my Isabel. I'm going to be coming up with my boy Erasmus.
Oh, man. Then we have Rowan. Wait, he's not in... Wait, is he in the...
He's in the structure deck.
Oh, okay, he's in the structure deck. Okay, yeah, that's right. And then this is the chase one in the booster.
Which looks way better than the other guy.
Yeah. Whoa. My boy Rowan.
They're both good. They're both good.
Ooh.
All right. Then we have Luna, which comes in the structure or starter deck, and then we get Urias. That's how you say his name, right?
Urias.
Urias. Hell yeah! Oh, this guy. All right.
Yeah, I want him because Luna's good. I don't know. Ever since this guy got his card in digital with the voice line, I went from like being pretty mid on him to just loving him.
Every single voice line. When we would play a game, he quoted every card he played.
That's so obnoxious. All right. We have Eris here for Havencraft, and then the chase card was Ramina, Beast of the Crescent Moon. Very nice. I like that card. I probably want that card if I'm playing Havencraft. And then we have the tokens here. Here's Thornburst. I guess we should... Whatever. It's at the end here. Fairy Wisp. Fairy. And then Otohime's Bodyguard. We got Knight. Viking. Oh, Viking's pretty cute. Steelclad Knight. Strike Form Golem. Guard Form Golem. Magic Sediment. And then there's the dragon, and then there's Mimi and Coco. They're so cute, little puppets. And then Ghost, Forest Bat, or if you're like me, who always says Frostbat for some reason. And then Holy Falcon, and then Holy Flame Tiger. And we are done. We've made it. We've made it through the first booster. All right.
Ooh, if you want to see any of us do case openings, I'm sure one of us is willing to do that on record. So comment below.
Oh, absolutely. I know Dean has a case coming. I have 2 cases right now.
We're going hard.
I should have a case coming.
Yeah, I'm mostly doing opening extra cases because I want to be able to get cards out to people who want it early on because I want this game to thrive.
Yep.
So look out for that. I think I might open up. This isn't for sure yet, but I might open up a web online store just for singles so people can have access to it early on. And then once like TCG Player and other sites start adopting this game more, I might close it down eventually because I don't want to deal with that as much. But early on, I do want to. I try to support the community as much as I can and get cards out there at a good price. Yeah. So they're not like literally dying out there buying like $70, $80 leader card or whatever cards they need.
Yeah. Well, what I love, and this is like a little side thing, is that like the chase cards are these tokens, like right, like I think it's funny that like in this game, like your chase card is this like token you slap down on the board and does nothing.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I like that too.
It's also an insane flex when you drop your $500 center marker and you're like, this is what the game wants me to use.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say trial decks will always be viable to purchase. Are they doing a trial deck with every set or every...
I don't believe so. It's just these initial starter decks, and then I think there are some other starter decks that are released later down the line. Not 100% sure when or if they're going to come out in English. I hope they do.
Yeah.
But I think there's that. That's all, right?
Are you required to have a leader?
Yes.
At events?
Yes.
Because if you're not required to have a leader, all leaders are flex. If you are required to have a leader, you will need to buy a trial deck. At least one.
I mean, I imagine you literally have to have something designating
your opponent has to see what you're playing because they're kind of like clan leaders or whatever they have in Vanguard and stuff like that. You have to have it out there.
Yeah, so encourage your local game stores to buy trial decks if you want to buy them.
All right. Yep. I think besides that, we're kind of done here. Like I said in the other videos, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any ideas of what you want to see in the future, go ahead and comment below. We're going to try to do as much as we can for the community as far as content-wise goes. So if you have anything, like if you want specific battles or decks showcased, let us know, please, in the comments below. We're going to do the best we can. I think we're going to try to do some kind of tutorial, a very simplified tutorial video in the future. At least I keep telling Dean to do it because I don't want to do it, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't have the skill set.
But we'll try to do. Maybe if Ellis is able to make it work, or someone has to do it. Worst case scenario, I do it. It's gonna be extra shitty, but I definitely want some stuff out there as early as possible so people can get into the game and learn a little bit more about it. But yeah, thanks for watching all the way to the end. For those people who have seen all this up until now and seen us talk about every card, thank you so much for just giving us the time of day to like even hear our opinions on the cards in the game and stuff coming out.
Right.
We really appreciate that. Besides that, guys, we hope to see you in our future content. Goodbye, everyone.